Hi, I'm Christy Glasgow, a competitor in the Armageddon Expo All-Stars cosplay competition. So this is my June 1st video check-in after last month's kind of frantic life events. I'm finally getting stuck in and working on my costume this month. So my goal was to start working on the staff, and so I have a big sort of template that I scaled and a big sort of traced that and sort of worked on figuring out all the details because it's quite swirly from the original sort of art, trying to sort of figure out all the details from her staff in sort of a one-to-one scale. So I was a bit nervous about what materials that I wanted to do this in, so I decided that I would start with cardboard, and from there I fell into the sort of temptation of trying something that I am a little bit more familiar with, which is paper mache. And long story short, it was a tragic disaster. I spent way too long trying to salvage that prop when I should have just realized it wasn't going to work. I didn't want to let all that work go to waste, and I stuck with it far too long, and it's in the bin. It was just bad, and I just deleted all the photos. It was just awful. So starting again, I am going to go with the foam route, which I am very nervous about. That's why I was trying to avoid using it. I know that I'm going to use foam for the armor, but this was sort of a big starting point. We're starting again on this one. Bought a new pole and everything like that. This one's slightly longer. I think it looks a little better than the pieces that I had used in my first piece. So had some trial and error this month. I'm liking where this is going, and I'm going to be cutting some foam very shortly, which I'm very, very excited about. The other component that I have been working on is I blew up this picture into a life-size image to help me get the size of the armor scale. You can see a picture of that here that I'll put on screen. It takes up my entire living room floor because her cape and her staff look really cool and they're massive. So I have started patterning out all the armor pieces, and one of the pieces that I am about ready to start cutting out from foam is her forearm armor. So I've sort of traced it, turned it into a bit of a template that I can sort of wear and play around with. It kind of turned out a bit more curved than I was originally anticipating. So I have broken it up into, if I can hold up all the pieces right, all these sort of segments of paper. It doesn't look like much, but it's been a lot of trial and error because I want to get this perfect before I start cutting into my foam, which I have some foam now. I was waiting till it was on sale, so I've got some pieces to start experimenting with, and that is going to be very, very shortly. I'm going to start making my forearm armor. My boots seem to have gone missing in the mail. Isn't that just life? They haven't arrived yet, so I'm probably going to have to start shopping for some local ones. I'm sick of waiting because I really want to start getting my boots made as well. So that was frustrating. Doesn't happen often, but when things go missing in the mail, that's terribly frustrating. So I'm very excited to start cutting out my foam. I think my patterning for my armor pieces have been going well, despite the setback on my staff. I was very disappointed that that didn't work out. That's kind of the humbling experience of this All-Stars competition. Normally when I stuff up, have to redo things, you know, those last minute trips to Spotlight when you've like realized that you've run out of fabric and you need to redo something, nobody knows. But because we're doing these videos, every time I make a mistake or do something, I have to kind of share the highs and lows of this cosplay journey. So that was a learning mistake, and one I plan not to repeat. I'm hoping that the foam is going to work slightly better, so that I can get started on her armor components. I've also been doing a lot of math for the fabric components because I really want to make sure that I get enough to fully do this cape. It's going to be more than 2 meters long, which is really quite cool, and I'm going to start trialing the foam. I have the sort of the front tabby bits patterned out, and now I'm just going to, again, a bit of trial and error with, it's either going to be the metal scale mail pieces or out of foam. I'm really wanting to do it out of foam, but that depends on how well I do that and whether that will work out for me or not. I keep going backwards and forwards about the red section on the staff. I have my initial thoughts is I want to heat form this, vac form this out of some plastic that we've got. I keep going backwards and forwards about whether I want to do this out of poured resin to get sort of a bit more of a depth to it. I'm really not sure. I haven't worked with resin before, so I'm nervous about that, but I don't know which one I think is going to give me the best sort of red gem effect in that staff. So I've been dragging my feet on that one. I know how to make it with the vac form effect, but that is quite a work process to do that. I have also started working out how I'm going to be doing the big head piece. Many years ago I did a head casting for a vac form sort of cap for another costume, and I still have that head form. So I'm going to make another casting so that I have a cap that will fit me exactly, so that I can sort of wear that and build everything up off that, because I've got all these horns, and I want that to be really secure on my head. So I've got that head mold. I'm going to start sort of working out. I'm still not exactly, it's going to be quite a mishmash of materials there. I want to do the horns out of foam just for lightness so that it's not very top heavy, and I got to start sculpting all those little dragons on the top as well. But that is my progress. I am the 3D printout took like days to tape together. My large big printout, it's like a giant puzzle piece that's all slightly out of focus. It's playing on the eyes. That took a long time to tape together, and I dragged my feet on it because it's quite a project, but I really wanted to not make mistakes with the armor patterning after the disaster with my staff. So I feel like that's put me on track with where I'm going. So I'm feeling good with the progress that I have made. It's still a busy month for me, but I'm feeling really energized, trying to stay positive after my staff disaster, and I'm feeling like I can put that aside and get started and sort of be refreshed and get going on some of the other pieces. I'm just putting the stuff to the side and focusing on the other parts, and I'm really feeling re-energized after that sort of it was chaos. That was emotional. I didn't like having to throw away that. I felt like I had wasted a lot of time, which is not fun when you have a deadline. So feeling good with my patterning. I'm really excited. I'm really keen to get sculpting on a lot of the horns that she has along her arms and things like that. I love that kind of sculpting. I find that a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that. So I'm very excited. I know I'm probably dragging my heels compared to some of the other contestants' progress. They're looking amazing, but yeah, I am one of those people that I'm very hesitant to actually get started, and when I start getting some successes I really start rolling with it, and then it all starts to flow. So hopefully I've got all my hiccups out of the way and I'll be into my workflow now. I'm really excited with where this patterning is going. I'm used to working with fabric. I have not really made that much in the way of armor, so it's taking a little bit of time to sort of pattern things with a medium that doesn't stretch or drape to my arms. It's taking me quite a while to really figure that out on my head, so I'm making sure that I do that all right before I start cutting into my foam, because I don't really want to mess that up. So that is my update for this month. I'm very excited, and I can't wait to show you what I've got next month, and hopefully I will have some boots or something that will arrive in the mail instead of getting lost. So thank you, and good luck to all the other contestants. I hope your cosplays are working a little bit better than mine at the moment, and I can't wait to share my progress next month.